Hey, how's it going? Happy spring. Hopefully it's a lot warmer in your area. We've had a little bit of a cold snap here. So hopefully it's a little bit warmer in your area. Hey, if you're live, jump in here. I'm going to see what's going on and say hi to whoever is happening to be joining right now. So we've got a lot of rain going on. There's flooding happening in different parts of the state, has been for a long time. It was mostly on the west side. Now it's moving over towards the east side. Why? Because there's, the rivers, the Missouri River and the Mississippi River on the border of each one. So hopefully in your area, it's a little bit warmer for you. Okay. If you're here, say hi. Put down a question or comment down below so I can read them and know that you're here and help you with anything that you might have. I just wanted to pop in because I wanted to share with you something that I just keep reminding all the time. I feel like it's a constant reminder. And that's an easy way for you to get more sales and traffic from Pinterest. And a lot of this, it takes some creative thinking and a little bit of outside the box thinking. And at the end of the day, that's what wins. It's not so much about analyzing everything down to the bone and the detail of the numbers all the time. A little bit of it is where you've got to put in your own creativity in there. And that requires information that is very powerful, that is useful, but at the same time is entertaining. And one way for you to accomplish that is by creating entertaining information or infotainment. So a blog post is how you want to do that. If you are trying to sell your products on Pinterest and you have your pins only going to your products and that is it, there's a lot of times that people do not want to repin your products into their boards. The shoppers will, but there are other people out there who are your competitors and they are not going to put your pins in their board because it is competing. Now, if you want to get more saves and repins across the board from everybody, not just the people who are shoppers, but from the other pinners who could even be your competition. And what they are doing is they're looking for really informational and entertaining pins that are high engaging to get into their boards. Why? Because they want their engagement to go up in their account. And the more that their engagement goes up, the more that their own pins get distributed out further to a bigger audience. So if you want to be that person and you want to put out those pins that everyone across the board wants, what you need to do is write a blog post. And I get so much resistance about this from business owners and in e-commerce. I'm not sure why that is, because bloggers have known this for years. So how I began with this whole thing was through starting with a blog and then figured out that people on Pinterest were pinning my stuff and had no idea. I had moved into e-commerce, so I had started kind of with the beginnings of blogging and doing the whole blogging thing, and I learned Google SEO and all of that. I built my first website, SEO'd it up. It still does well today. All of those articles do extremely well. And people started pinning that stuff out on Pinterest. That's how I discovered it. And since then, I learned e-commerce and I learned how to sell all kinds of products. I started out first in the world of selling digital products. This is before print on demand was even a thing. It wasn't even invented yet. And I told this story tonight of a lot of how that happened with the Pinterest coaching group. So let me know if you want to be a part of that Pinterest coaching group, because we share a lot of detailed information it's 2 times a month that we share, or I share about the latest happenings, what's going on, and try to help make some adjustments and tweaks as everyone goes along to help everyone get stronger and stronger in their Pinterest marketing skills to see what they're doing. So let me know if you want to be a part of that. But what I started out with was with digital products I was creating myself. And this was long before I knew anything about how to sell on eBay, how to sell on Etsy, or how to sell on Amazon. And I learned that stuff a little bit later, and I did all of that. And I figured out how to do that really well because I needed more income coming in. And then I decided, oh, this is interesting. I could start fusing all of this together because A blog is what you do for content marketing. And you want to use that for your business side of your products that you are selling or products that you're creating, no matter if they're digital products or physical products, it doesn't matter what they are. But a blog post actually sells more products than one single product page. Now, you might be wondering, how does that happen and how does that work? I did this years ago, and I would take a blog post and I would include links to all of my digital products, a bunch of digital products, and I would put them into a collection and I would make it informational, entertaining, and I created one blog post with a call to action at the bottom of every single product and a link of where they could go and buy it. And those blog posts were making all kinds of sales. So how is it that a blog post would convert better than a product page? And it's easy. It makes sense to me and it's easy to do. There's a higher conversion rate of sales in just a single blog post than there is with a product page. Here's why. In a blog post, you can put multiple products in one blog post. It makes it very easy and convenient for people to go to one page of a collection of things with similarities, characteristics. It could be for an event, it could be seasonal, or it could be just evergreen, however you set that up to be. And they want to go in and look at all of those products if they like them. And especially if you do this and you have a Shopify store and you use the widget for the Shopify buy button, you include that underneath every single one of those and with a picture of your product. And they will just go through that one blog post and they will click add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, because there may be 6 things that they see all in one blog post that they absolutely love. And they will fill their shopping cart right there off of one blog post page. So that's one way that your blog post pages will actually convert better than just one single product page. If they have to click through to one product page at a time in your store or in a marketplace anywhere where you're selling stuff, they're going to look at this and say, oh man, I've got to click on every single one of these. I've got to go poke around. It's going to take me an hour to do this. I don't have time right now. But if they are impulsive or if they are a fast decision maker and they like everything in that blog post, they're just going to click right down that page and go boom, 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 add to cart, check out, I'm done. And they're done and they're ready to go. So that's one way that a blog post actually converts better in sales than just one product page or individual product pages. You can put collections of stuff together much, much easier on a blog post page. You can talk about each item, you can be informational, and it can be very, very entertaining. The more that you can do both information that is valuable and entertainment at the same time, the better your conversions will happen, the better sales that you'll happen, because that's what people want. Now, how does that translate into getting traffic from Pinterest? Why is it that people will click on those pins more often that lead to a blog post than to a single product or a product page? Because when they look at the pin, you can have a very, very enticing title of that blog post. And they may or may not realize that it's going to be this awesome collection of products put together. It depends on whatever title that you're using. Now, you're not trying to be misleading, but what you're trying to do is pique curiosity. You're trying to get some interest. And it could be something as simple as 5 things that you wish you had, 5 things that you didn't buy that you probably should have. You want to get your keyword phrase that you find off of Pinterest in there. So instead of saying 5 things, you could say 5 kitchen gadgets that you don't have, but wish you did. And it's funny and it's entertaining and people will click through because they're curious. What are these 5 things that I don't have right now? They're telling me I don't have it and maybe I do. So I'm going to go see and find more information about what this is. And what it is you list out those 5 products in your blog post and you do it in a way where it's very entertaining and informational at the same time. And they may look at that and say, you know, you're right. There's 2 of them that I don't have. I need that. So they'll start and they will go shopping. So what you're doing is you're taking that cold traffic off of Pinterest and you take them to a blog post first. That is called content marketing. It warms up that traffic. If you take cold traffic and you direct it straight to a product page and they are not in the buying mood, they just kind of stumbled across it and click through, they may not want to buy anything. They may not even want to save that pin for later. So it's a little bit different when you take that traffic from somewhere else and it's cold. You got to warm it up. You got to warm it up a little bit. Now, when people go to Amazon and they go shopping, they're in the buying mood. They're already warmed up. That's the difference, is the traffic that goes into Amazon. Amazon has already made efforts to warm up that traffic for you. So they've already done this. They've already warmed the traffic up for you, and it's ready to go right there inside of Amazon. You have to do the same thing yourself, and you warm up that traffic. You go grab cold traffic, you warm it up, targeting the right people, warm it up with your keywords, your keyword research, and you can bring them right to your blog post where they can get some information, useful, valuable tips, how to, whatever it is that you want to do that your audience will absolutely love. And then you have your products included, and they will definitely go shopping and buy those. So that's how you do that. Now, the other part about on Pinterest is that you will get more people in general saving your pins to their boards and even higher click-through rate because of the very interesting topic. The blog post that you can use can also be your pin title. And that's what piques their interest to want to click through that pin and go over to your blog post to read more about it. So when they do that, you will probably get a higher click-through rate. You will get more saves in general, because even your competition will say, well, that's a really fascinating article. People love this pin and it's already high engaging. So I'm going to put that pin into my board so that I can help get my engagement up in my account overall, so that your pins get distributed out further. So even your competition can leverage your pin in a way that benefits them. At the same time, it benefits you. So it's a win-win situation now. Whereas before, if it was a product pin and I just featured one product on the pin, even my competition is not going to pin that into their board because they don't want people shopping the competition's products. But if I have a really unique and interesting blog post that happens to have my products in that blog post, even the competition may consider saving or repinning that pin. So now you've got a bigger and wider distribution of your pins overall, all throughout Pinterest. So what I'm saying is, don't limit the pins that you create and make on Pinterest to just be about your products. Product pins are great, but what I've noticed is they don't have as much power in conversions. They don't have as much traffic coming from Pinterest. And that's what you need, is you got to get your traffic up. And then when they get there, when your traffic arrives on your website, you need to warm them up first before you show them a whole mess of your products. So it's the same way as if you were to meet someone in person. If you were to meet someone in person, you probably would not say, I want to marry you. They're a complete stranger. That's what you're doing when you take cold traffic and you push them to your product. It's too much. It's too much. They're a complete stranger to who you are. They don't know who you are because you have not warmed them up. So the way that you warm them up is through your blog post, where they can get your personality through your writing or through your videos. They can see what you're like, what your character is like. They develop this relationship with you, and then they build trust with you. Just the same as if you were to meet them face to face and in person. That is what sells every single time. It is about building a relationship with your shoppers. It's not about shoving a bunch of products in front of their face, hoping that they'll say that they will buy something, because they won't. They will not. Now, if you were to meet someone in person and instead of saying, do you want to marry me? They say, hey, would you like to go for a cup of coffee sometime? They are more likely to say, yeah, that sounds like fun. We can get to know each other over a cup of coffee. Now that's going to be much more effective because you are warming the person up, right? That's much more effective than just saying, I want to marry you and being that aggressive. It doesn't make any sense. It's very illogical. So think about that and how you're doing your marketing. What are you doing for your marketing? And if it's not converting to sales, there's a reason for that. And you need to warm up your audience. You need to build a relationship with them. You need to get to a point where they build trust with you. They know your personality. They like you, because people do business with people that they like. They like you, and they love, they're interested in everything that you have to offer. You provide value up front every single time. And when you are the first person to give that value up front, they will return. They will return that back to you. So anyways, this is a great way for you to get your sales up and your traffic up from Pinterest, is to just write a blog post. If you want some inspiration for different types and kinds of blog posts that you could write, again, think creatively outside the box. What I did years ago was I started writing blog posts, teaching people how to do things. And it worked very, very well. People love it even yet to this day. They love it and enjoy it. And I was teaching them for free. And then I develop products and I open up a store. And so they go in there, they learn all kinds of stuff, and then they go buy something from the store because they got so much value up front. They're able to walk away from a blog post saying, wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that before. I learned something great. I want to go back there and read some more. That's what happens. And you build that relationship with your audience, and then they will buy whatever that you have. They want to support you. They want to encourage what you're doing because you were giving so much to them. So in order for you to be able to get what you want, you got to give. You got to give a lot up front. And a blog post is a perfect way for you to give, for you to do your part in giving first, so that there is something that you can receive back. And you will receive back probably twice as much as what you gave in the first place. So don't be afraid to do that. Please try writing a blog post. Your inspiration can come from BuzzFeed. They are the masters at how to write blog posts that are centered around products. Also, if you are following some really, really good bloggers on Pinterest and you've been sharing their pins inside of your boards to get your engagement up, and it's very informational, it's very entertaining, go and read some of their blog posts. See if you can write down what formula it is that they're using, because I'll guarantee there's a formula and there's a template that you can create based on that. BuzzFeed has a really easy template that you can build yourself, and a formula that you can build yourself. It's very powerful and it works. I've used it for years and years and years. So create a template for yourself, and that is your template that you just reuse over and over and over again every single time that you want to write a new blog post. It doesn't take much effort then. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You have something that is a guide, and you just reuse that little guide, that template, that formula over and over and over, and you'll start getting some really good results. So try writing blog posts. There's a lot of you out there that have Shopify stores and you still have not written one blog post, even though it's included with your store. I think that's crazy. And you've got the Shopify buy buttons. You can get those widgets created up fast, get them in your blog posts. Man, I did this years ago, like 13 years ago, when Shopify was really new. And I don't know why there's so much resistance against this, but please try it. And because what I've been hearing lately in all kinds of groups, and even in the Pin Traffic Power group on Facebook, which joined, by the way, is the sky is falling. The sky is falling. My traffic is going down. What is happening here? And I'm thinking, what are you pinning? Are you only pinning your products? Is that all you're doing? Is you're just pushing your products in front of people's faces continually all day long? That may not be what they want. You got to warm them up. Instead, try pushing out some blog posts. Get those pinned out. Build that relationship with your shoppers. And they'll probably buy a lot more because it's just so convenient. You can get a lot of products in one blog post. They don't have to sit and poke around and shop around to several different product pages and click around. They can just go add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, and they're done. Check out. So try a blog post. Don't be afraid to do that. All right, I will let you go for tonight and join the Pin Traffic Power Facebook group. I go in there and I give lots of tips and hints. The mastermind group is for those who are members of the course. The course is going to be completely redone with even more detailed work of everything that I do. And at this point, it's not just what I do. In the last 4 months, I've built out an entire team, and we are now a team of 6 people. So I will be revealing a lot of that information as I update the course as to exactly all the details of everything that we do. And everyone that I hire, they have a specific job and they get really, really good in those certain areas. So that is something to look forward to down the road. And if you have any questions along the way, please join the Pin Traffic Power Facebook group. We do have a coaching group that meets on a regular basis every 2 weeks. Definitely take advantage of that as well, so that I can really help you a little bit more with a close-up as to what's going on, and here's some adjustments that you can make to help that. So try a blog post, please, 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 please. If you do not try writing a blog post and you come to me and say, my traffic is down, why is that? The first thing I'm going to ask you is, have you written a blog post? If you haven't, then you know what you need to go and do, and I will hold you accountable to it. All right. Have a great evening, and we'll talk again soon.